From Olympic City and the home of Pikes Peak, this is the Automotive ADHD Show. Yeah, here we are, rocking it for the Automotive ADHD Show. That is this show. I am Matt West, here to talk to you about cars. Yeah, this is a car show. Talk all sorts of fun car stuff. Look, my family got tired of me talking cars to them over Christmas, and they said, no, go do it on your show. We've heard enough of it. So, hey, here I am to talk to you about cars. Got all sorts of good stuff to talk about today, and gonna keep it kind of light. You know, we're just coming off of Christmas, and gonna keep things, no, we're not gonna talk any infrastructure bills or any automotive politics. Just gonna kind of keep things simple. Got some just kind of fun news in the car world, so I'm gonna hit on that today. There is a collector car that is gaining popularity that I think maybe shouldn't. And then also gonna talk about why Dodge loves car people and why more manufacturers should do what Dodge does. And also another guy blew up his Tesla on purpose. Yes, all sorts of fun stuff. And of course, all things Throttle Warrior you can find at throttlewarrior.com. And of course, there's the Automotive ADHD Facebook page. If you would like to interact with the show, ladies, gentlemen, Volvo S60Rs. Before we get into talking about some of those other things, I want to give you a quick update on the Toyota key fob story from, 2 weeks ago. And to give you a little bit of a recap here. So first of all, Toyota, they're starting to backpedal on their decision. Clearly, after hearing my criticisms on this show. No, there was a lot of criticism in the automotive space about their decision to charge a monthly subscription for the use of the remote start feature on their key fobs for their 2018 and up vehicles. And now again, before we get into what they're doing now, I'm going to give you a quick recap if you missed the show a couple of weeks ago, which if you did, after this one, go check that out. Also listen to the interview with Wesley Kagan from last week. I don't even know how I can top that interview or top that in future episodes. I don't think it's possible. It was such a great show. So go listen to that. But so Toyota had decided that it was a good idea to start charging a monthly reoccurring subscription for their quote connectivity package, which I get that. If it's a internet package, mobile Wi-Fi hotspot, yeah, you're paying to use someone else's cell towers and someone else's servers. That's fine. But included in that technology package was the remote start feature for all of their 2018 and up vehicles. And they just announced that, yeah, we're going to take that thing you've had for a couple of years and put it behind a paywall. And, okay, so the people that weren't too bugged by this said, but it's only $8 a month. Come on, $8 a month. Who doesn't have $8 a month? I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter that it's $8 a month. The price is irrelevant. The point I made a couple of weeks ago was that if you have to pay a subscription to use a mechanical feature on the car, again, this isn't like an internet connectivity thing where you're using someone else's towers and servers. No, this is a mechanical feature that exists within the car itself. If you have to pay extra to use that and use it as a subscription, that means you don't own the car. That means you're paying for the right to use the car at Toyota's discretion. And we all know of some other automakers who are who do this sort of thing more so than Toyota. Big names that come to mind, of course, Tesla, Mercedes, and a few others. Now, again, so if you're paying $8 a month to have this remote start feature, again, you might have paid $50,000, right, for a up-trim Toyota TRD Tacoma, TRD Pro Tacoma, the top trim one, right? And you might have spent $50,000 on that. Well, cool, you still got to pay $8 a month. What, $50,000? Not good enough for you? I don't know. Of course, car manufacturers are in the business of making money, but I think that this was a stupid decision, and somehow someone at Toyota, said, yeah, that's a good idea, and then no one else told them, no, it's not. It's ridiculous. So anyway, fast forward to this week, and this story was broke by the Drive. Hat tip to them. They were the ones who got the exclusive interviews with some of the Toyota representatives about this topic. But Toyota says they were caught off guard by the backlash in the media about this. Really? They were caught off guard. Again, no one thought that someone would be upset by this. I don't know, all the owners of these vehicles. Now, again, the Drive, they reached out to Toyota and got in touch with one of their spokespeople. And they said, the Toyota spokesperson said, quote, the subscription is truly for the app. The key fob remote start was never intended to be a cost item at either time of purchase or through subscription. Yeah, they're backpedaling. They said, oh no, we got caught. We got caught with our pants down. And and now they're backpedaling. So anyway, I think this is good news that they're going to backpedal. They shouldn't have done it in the first place, but that's neither here nor there. They're saying, you know what? We realize that that's not what our customers want. And we're going to change that. So that's good. I give them credit for that. Now, they haven't said for sure whether or not it will be removed from the subscription service, because as it stands, they said it was never intended to be there, but it's still there. And so they said basically, oops, it's an accident. We accidentally put it in there. Again, I don't think that's the case. It's a huge car manufacturer with dozens and hundreds of employees and engineers and committees and design teams. Nothing happened by accident. Just saying it. But, again, they're backpedaling. Now, they said it's not entirely possible. They followed up saying they're not exactly sure how to get rid of it right now because it's so baked into some of the technology they have that they're not sure if they can simply remedy this with a software update. There might be physical hardware that has to be changed in order to make that work. Now, is that true or not? I don't know. Again, they're big. They're a huge car company. They can figure it out. That's my opinion. And again, why aren't more people complaining about this thing with other automakers? Like Tesla. Like the Tesla fanatics love it when Tesla nickels and dimes them for mechanical features that they have to pay for through, paid over-the-air updates and stuff. And again, Mercedes, an example I used a couple of weeks ago. Mercedes has a 4-wheel steering system on some of their really high-trim cars, and you can't use it if you don't pay the subscription all the time. And again, if it's a mechanical feature of the car and you bought the car with said mechanical feature, it should always have that mechanical feature because that's how you bought the car. You shouldn't have to pay a subscription. That's the most ridiculous thing. Again, the act of needing to pay a subscription to use a physical thing on the car just proves that you don't own the car. Oh yeah, sure, you got the title in your name. That's cool. But yeah, guess what? Tesla, Toyota, Mercedes, no, they still own the car. You just are using it with their permission. So again, that's my issue with that. It's not that, it's $8 for remote start. I don't even need remote start. No, it's out of principle. It's out of principle. Now, anyway, I am glad Toyota is backpedaling. Hopefully other auto manufacturers decide to do that because this is a stupid trend in the auto industry. Just, in my humble opinion. Anyway, so by the way, speaking of Toyota, let's go back in time. When things were simpler, there was no remote start, there were no key fobs. 1993. So, this is cool. There is a 1993 Toyota pickup that is going up for auction. Get this. With 94 miles. Yeah, 94, not 94,000. Now, 94 miles. Who the heck buys a Toyota pickup and just says, I'm not going to drive it? Who does that? I don't know. Who buys a car and doesn't drive it? And I mean, those Toyota pickups, they're not even just cars. They're utility vehicles. It's not like a low-volume sports car or something rare, a special edition. Nope. It is a run-of-the-mill, average Toyota pickup with the 22RE and great engine, by the way. Not very powerful, very reliable, though. I had that engine in my first car, which was a 1988 Toyota 4Runner, so first-gen 4Runner. Again, I love old Toyotas. I still own an old Toyota and a different one, but hey, Toyotas are good, right? Now, here's the thing. What surprises me is how much money this car is going to go up for auction for, because one recently sold for $45,000 with just a little over 80 miles on it. And so $45K for that. This car could very well go for $45,000, if not more, because of just how the market is now. And that is ridiculous. Can you imagine spending $45,000 on an old 90s Toyota pickup? I'm sorry, but when I was in like high school, those were like $1,000 cars, you know, and everyone had one. They were everywhere. They were just hanging around everywhere. Those cars, those trucks were cheap. And now people are asking a ton of money for them. And even like used ones with many hundreds of thousands of miles, people are still asking like $15,000 for. It's ridiculous now. But this is like the next big collector car craze, in my opinion. And I can back that up with, you know, just seeing trends over the past, you know, few years and looking at one of my favorite sites, Bring a Trailer Auctions. What can I say? I go there and look at stuff pretty regularly. I usually look at stuff I can't afford, but that's okay. And the nice thing about Bring a Trailer is they give you a cool little graph, and this graph it shows you prices of auction listings that have sold. So I can see going back to 2016 on this graph. I'm looking at it right now. The prices of 90s Toyota pickups, and they go all the way from, you know, $3,000, $4,000, up, we're climbing up, $9,000. Wow, and 94 in 2017 sold for, $9,000, and then it keeps going up. And I mean, there's a ton of them here, but you get the idea. Now, the actual trend of this graph, looking up over time, all the way to 2021, almost 2022 now. Can you believe that? So looking up here, now I'm looking at, here's a 1999. Now, it's technically a Tacoma, but that sold for $36,000. 1989 sold for $30,000. So we're going from like $3,000 a few years ago to $30,000. And when people start seeing these cars going up, getting big money, they say, I got one of those sitting in the garage. We haven't driven it for a while. It's just been the fun, like, hunting truck or something. Even if it's a pile of garbage, it's haggard, it's beat up, everyone now is going to start thinking they have they have the next, $50,000 collector example of it. And now everyone's going to start asking a ton of money. And this is how collector cars become collector cars. This is nothing new. We've seen this over the years with all sorts of cars, even old Ferraris and, old Chevy pickups, like C10 Chevy pickups. Holy crap, they're like $150,000 now. We see that kind of stuff going on. And the Toyota pickup is perhaps the next thing to do it. Now, I do get why some people want to buy older ones versus the newer ones, because the older ones are simpler. They are... They're lighter, they're more reliable, there's less things to go wrong, and also there's just a nostalgia factor that plays into this. I mean, look at anything from the 80s and 90s right now. You can thank Stranger Things, the television series, you can thank that for creating a huge hype in 80s stuff, and now that has transitioned into 90s stuff. It's not just cars, it's all in pop culture. Everyone's obsessed with things from the 80s, and well, now more so the 90s. Now we're transitioning to the 90s, and what's next? Are people going to be like obsessing over mid-2000s cars? Yeah, probably. If the past is like anything to go off of, that's what's coming next. Imagine that. Imagine people paying like $400K for like a base model Dodge Neon from 2004. Yeah, I don't know. That is a dismal future right there. That is a dismal future. But I digress. Moral of the story here is, moral of the story, ignore stocks and buy completely average vehicles. Don't drive them and sit on them for 30 years. Flip them on eBay. There you go. Or whatever we have in place of eBay in 30 years. So, clearly the best financial advice right here. Throw everything else out the window. Buy old cars. There you go. And on that note, we're going to take a quick break, but I'm going to be back to talk about some really cool stuff that Dodge is doing. We're also going to play some of the car sounds that you sent in. That's coming up next.
Did you know there's a rare but serious condition affecting 1 out of every million? Most are born with it, and despite decades of research, doctors struggle to find a cure. The truth is, thousands of people simply don't know what cars are. For those affected, things are grim, but recent developments show promising success. New clinical trials using breakthrough audio technology have shown a 69% improvement in patients with the most severe symptoms. Treatments vary, but one day we may see a cure. More information is available at throttlewarrior.com.
Oh yeah, here we are rocking it for the second half of the show. Matt West here, hanging out with you to talk cars. Those car sounds, courtesy of New Long Lore, again sending some amazing S2000 sounds into the show. How cool is that? So last week he sent in some sounds drifting, and this week just revving the snot out of that F20 in that car. Very, very cool stuff. I love it. I love it. If you've got car sounds, I like to play them on the show. It's fun, right? So if you got those and you want to share them, send them in. You can email them to me, matt@throttlewarrior.com, or you can also post them on the Automotive ADHD Facebook page. There is a post pinned to the top, and you can comment below with your car sounds. Now, in the future, again, as I get more people sending these in, I am going to do a giveaway, something small, but something cool. And I'm going to pick from the list of people who have sent in their car sounds to the show. So again, check that out, facebook.com/automotive ADHD. So now I want to move on to Dodge. Dodge has got some cool stuff that they are doing. You know, I've always liked them as a company, and full disclaimer, I've never owned a Dodge or Mopar product really. And I've had Jeeps, but it's not quite the same thing. Also, my old Jeep is, well, I mean, it's American Motors. It's pre-Chrysler, pre-Dodge. But anyway, they have announced the development of a new performance parts division. Yes, this is cool. They call it the Direct Connection Parts Catalog. And this is a throwback to the 1970s when they had a, quote, direct connection parts catalog. They have the same thing. So that's great stuff. And there's tons of factory-backed speed parts that they are going to sell that won't void your warranty, that have tons of R&D and, all sorts of development that goes into them. Everything from engines to just simple tunes to superchargers to pulley kits to suspension parts, transmission parts. Very, very cool stuff. And the cool thing about that, again, is that this stuff won't void the warranty, and it has the OEM's blessings, if you will. It has Dodge's development that's put into it, because all too often, aftermarket parts are, they're fun, they're durable, but they don't always have the same sort of research and development and testing and durability testing, more importantly, that the manufacturer puts into stuff. And that's not always the case for the aftermarket. There are some very well-developed parts out there for all sorts of cars. But typically speaking, that is kind of how things work. So why, would you want to go install some part from a random company or a random eBay part when you could have the same thing from Dodge that has actually been tested by, Dodge powertrain engineers? I think that's cool. I think that's handy. Now, I think that more manufacturers need to do this. Again, I've never owned a Dodge product, but I love their commitment to gearheads, to auto enthusiasts. Look at it this way. Most OEMs, most original equipment manufacturers, just care about selling new cars. They make the most of their money selling the new cars and then selling you oil changes and tires on that new car. Dodge, and there's other companies that realize this too, but not all of them. Dodge realizes that some people will never buy new. They just won't do it. I'm one of those people. I'm not going to buy new. It just isn't going to happen. Close to new, certified pre-owned, maybe, but that's still pretty expensive. But they know a lot of people are not going to buy cars new, but they're going to go buy them used, secondhand, and then they're going to go have fun with them. They're going to go race them. They're going to go take them to car shows. I mean, all that good stuff. And they're thinking like, well, how, being a car business that's in also the business of making money, how do we make money off of the people who aren't going to buy our new cars? You do this performance parts catalog thing. You offer enthusiasts parts that they can put on their car to make them faster, to make them more fun. And that way, now you're capitalizing and selling to people who were not going to buy your cars new no matter what. And it works out. I mean, that works out for Dodge. That works out for the enthusiasts who want to buy the parts. Of course, the Dodge parts are going to be more expensive than some random other aftermarket part, but you do get that manufacturer backing and the warranty that comes with that. So that's cool. Now, another interesting thing, looking through this parts catalog, again, there's everything in there. You can essentially, and some people on the internet were also commenting about this, you can essentially replicate a Dodge Demon through the parts catalog, which probably makes Dodge Demon owners kind of mad, because the Dodge Demon, unlike the Hellcat, was a very limited run, less than 1,000, cars made. It was a very limited run, and people paid premiums to get them because, that's super limited. They're never going to make another one. And it's the fastest Dodge Challenger there. It's faster than the Hellcat and the Hellcat Red Eye. So people paid a lot of money for that. And now Dodge has the performance catalog, and you can basically buy all of the Demon parts and stick them on your existing Dodge Hellcat Red Eye and have a Demon. So, yeah, why'd you go out of your way to spend $200,000 marked up on a Demon or something stupid when you could have just done this? And it would still have a warranty. You can't even use the warranty as an well, the Demon's got the warranty. No, this all has the warranty. If you put it on a car with an existing warranty, it's going to have the warranty. That said, to have the warranty, you have to have a Dodge dealer install this stuff, which is boo. I like installing my own parts because I'm cheap and I don't want to pay labor. But anyway, so again, you could basically replicate a Demon with this, which is, I think it's kind of funny. I think it's kind of cool. In the same token, again, I wish more manufacturers did this. Now, of course, Toyota famously does this with their TRD parts catalog. And now they have their Gazoo racing section as well for all their performance parts. They do it. Honda sells a lot of performance parts and also does their heritage parts catalog for old Civics and, NSXs and S2000. So, there's manufacturers who get that, people aren't going to buy the new cars. They just won't. There's nothing you can do to make them buy the new car. They want the old cars. And again, manufacturers realize, well, we can't make money selling new cars to these people. We're still going to sell our new cars to people who want to buy new cars, but we'll sell performance parts and cool stuff to enthusiasts who are really dedicated to these old platforms. And I think that's good. Nissan does that as well with the GTRs. So yeah, good stuff right there. I really like it. I respect Mopar for doing it. Also throwing out there, Dodge is still hiring for their chief donut officer. Yeah, I talked about this a while back, but they are going to be opening up those applications in January. And that, again, a brilliant piece of marketing. Of course, it's marketing, right? It's to get people on stupid podcasts talking about them. What can I say? But that said, Dodge's chief donut officer, I will be submitting my application for that job position. It's like $150K a year salary. They give you a Hellcat, and then you just go to Dodge press appearances and do donuts in a Hellcat. That's cool. I would do that. Of course, I do that. I do donuts anyway, but I would totally get paid $150,000 a year to do that. So not a bad gig right there. Now, hey, coming up next, we're going to be talking about another auto manufacturer who is perhaps the polar opposite of Dodge, where Dodge is actively encouraging owners to modify their cars. Tesla, well, we know what Tesla does, and there was a man who was very upset about Tesla, so much so that he blew up his own Tesla. And we're going to talk about that next.
'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of turbos danced in their heads. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. When what to my wondering eyes did appear but a Mark IV Supra with boost to hear, and a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment he must be Saint Nick. And then in a twinkling I heard the tires screech, the prancing and pawing of each horsepower. Down the track St. Nicholas came with a bound, a bundle of parts he had flung on his back. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings with speed parts and more, for the children would not have to return the core. He sprang to his Supra with tires to roast, and down the track he went making the most. With 40 pounds of boost on tap he tore, knowing the children would soon have more. Saying Merry Christmas from the Automotive ADHD podcast. Ho, ho, horsepower.
Oh yeah, here we are rocking it for the third half of the show. Matt West here, hanging out with you to talk about cars on the Automotive ADHD show. And one thing I want to hit on here before we talk about Tesla. So this is kind of cool. I just saw this. I got to talk about it. It's not a car, but it is cool. The U.S. Air Force is experimenting with including USB ports on their fleet of B-52 bombers. Yes, the B-52, by the way, has been in service since the 1950s, and it's still in use today. And on top of that, the Air Force is planning to use them until 2040, almost 100 years on that airframe, which is nuts. Again, I get it. This is not a car here, but see, there's some similarities here, right? Like the auto industry 10 years ago decided to start putting USB ports in cars because it's convenient. Well, the Air Force says, yeah, that's cool. We should put that on our B-52s, the bombers. Yeah. And those are like the biggest bombers they have. Again, if you're not picturing them, they're the very, very big ones. Very big bombers. Now the goal here apparently is to reduce fires, they say, caused by having those portable battery packs that pilots are taking their iPhones and their tablets and stuff onto airplanes, onto their B-52s, obviously. Pilots are taking tablets and stuff, and they're using them for mission essential stuff. You know, they're having checklists and maps and other things on there. And to keep the batteries topped up, they bring these battery packs on board. Well, the problem is lithium-ion batteries don't really like altitude. And that's a problem you do see in commercial airliners, batteries blowing up. Not as often because inside the cabin, at least, it's pressurized. But that's one reason why it's pretty frowned upon, putting lithium batteries in the non-pressurized storage area. And I had a personal experience with that. I once went camping for about a week at 11,000 feet above sea level. And true story, the altitude caused an otherwise perfectly good lithium-ion battery in my phone to blow up. But anyway, that said, the Air Force wants to reduce the chance of fires and reduce how many lithium-ion batteries are on board. Yes, the batteries in the pilot's tablets could still blow up, but they would rather have just that than, tons of battery packs and stuff, lying around, auxiliary battery packs. And they're designing a USB port system to put in these B-52s, which, again, it's the military, and there's also an airplane, so there's the FAA involved, and it's probably going to be 2030 by the time they get these approved and and tested, because, we won't be using USB at that time. We'll be using, I don't know, Wi-Fi electricity or something stupid. I mean, we kind of have that already. But by the time they get this stuff in, I guarantee we're gonna have moved on to other things. That said, again, cars have had USB for years, but they now are starting to get cool things like Apple CarPlay. And let's just not tell the Air Force about Apple CarPlay because they'll want that next. So just saying. So anyway, hey, moving on to Tesla. Oh man, do I do a single episode? Someone was calling me out for this. Like, do I do a single episode without talking about Tesla? They say any publicity is good publicity, right? Am I secretly helping Tesla? I don't think so. They don't need anyone's help to do stupid things. I do like their cars though. A family member of mine has a Tesla Model 3 Performance, and it's really fast and it's really fun. I get that. Also, I was visiting with them over Christmas, and apparently Tesla has a light show feature that they just sent out over a update where you can have the car flash the lights and play Christmas music, and the windows go up and down to the tune of the music, and the mirrors go in and out. Okay, it was kind of cool. I don't actively hate Tesla so much. I don't. I do dislike stupid policies that they have when it comes to repair, when it comes to people modifying their own cars. I do think Tesla has a very stupid position in the market when it comes to that because they're known for banning people for making modifications to their cars, banning them from the Tesla supercharger network, banning them for repairing their own cars. Famously, there've been a number of YouTubers who have I'm going to rebuild my Tesla, and they do it well. And then Tesla says, we don't like that. You should have bought a new one. We're going to ban you from all of our products, and your car's not going to work anymore. I think that's ridiculous. Anyway, and another guy who thinks that is ridiculous is a man in Finland. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name on the show. I don't speak Finnish, but he recently made a video that's kind of going viral right now about how he bought a Tesla Model S back in 2013, put about 1,000 miles on it, and then the car stopped working. He took it to his Tesla service center and they said, yep, you need a new battery pack. That'll be over $20,000, please. And they said that they couldn't even fix it yet because they would have to get approval from Tesla corporate to install the battery pack and send the parts. They would have to ask for permission. And he said, that is ridiculous. So he parked the car. He said, no, I'm not paying you to fix it. And granted, he couldn't fix it himself because Tesla won't sell him a battery pack. So he parked the car. It's been a few years now and has decided that, you know what? He's going to go do something for internet clicks, as we all do, right? Well, how did the saying go like 6 or 7 years ago? Do it for the Vine? Well, no one does that. Vine's not around. Yeah. But you get the idea. He decided to blow it up. He filled his Tesla with TNT and blew it up for the internet. And honestly, it's pretty fantastic. And the video, it's well produced. They had a nice, a really good cinematographer, it looks. A videographer put this together. And it's a really nicely done video. And it's his friends taking the Tesla to a quarry, lining up a bunch of TNT along the side of it. You know, and they even got a Elon Musk dummy, an effigy, kind of like a mannequin with Elon Musk's face on it, and put that in the driver's seat, which, hey, each to their own, right? And then they decided to explode the car into lots of tiny pieces, and that it did, proving that Teslas are not well suited for TNT explosions. They're just, they're not very good at dealing with that. So, look, the guy blew up his car. People saying, why would you blow up a perfectly good Tesla? It wasn't a perfectly good Tesla. It was a piece of crap. It was broken. If it was running, I get that, right? And honestly, had it been me, I don't know. I probably would have parted it out. Probably would have made more money selling door cards out of it and windows and stuff. Just part it out at that point. Make your money back as much as you can. Instead of blowing it up. Then again, hey, the internet works in weird ways. He might have made, I don't know, $5 off of a few million views. So, hey, you never know. He blew up his Tesla. Should you blow up yours? I don't know. That is entirely up to you, but is your decision because you own the car. And again, Tesla thinking is kind of the opinion they can tell you what to do with something that you own. Just saying. That's always my gripe with Tesla. I actually like their products. They're fun. They're cool. They're nice to drive, but as a company and the politics of their company suck. Just plain and simple, in my opinion. They could honestly get more of an enthusiast crowd if they didn't do this stuff. Now, Tesla has their own like cult of fanatics. Yeah, like Tesla people are a cult, bona fide a cult. They will love them to the end of the earth. And what can you do? You can blow up your own Tesla if you wanted to, though. That is on you. Well, hey, that's it for the show. I want to thank you, by the way, for joining me for this half-hour edition of the Automotive ADHD podcast. Just a little bit lighter, not talking about anything too crazy. You know, it is the holidays. Spend some good time with the family. Hopefully, you've been able to enjoy some time with the family. At the very least, you've had some time away from work. Maybe been able to get some stuff done in the car. Who knows? Just saying. And of course, you can subscribe to this fine podcast. Well, that's saying a bit much, but you can subscribe where other fine podcasts are downloaded. And of course, check out the Automotive ADHD Facebook page. Interact with the show there. Post your car sounds. Lots of good stuff going on there. We're growing the page. It's getting really good. You got to check it out. And I will see you next week, same time, same place, when Larry the Cable Guy helps me win a NASCAR race. Yeah, I'll see you then.